What is up, everyone? How are y'all doing? It's been a while since I've had a video up, so I thought that it was time to get another one up, and I've got a couple more coming your way, so stay tuned. So today it's a little bit of a different video. We're going to be going over some new speakers that I'm going to be putting up in my on my patio where my hot tub is. And so I decided that I wanted to give the Pendant style speakers a try. So today's video is we're not going to listen to these in today's video. What we're going to do is we're going to take a look at these and specifically talk about how you hang Pendant's Pendant speakers. So these are the Pendant speakers from Soundavo. They just came out with these not long ago. I believe they debuted these at their CEDIA Expo that they just had towards the end of last year. So I got my hands on a pair of these. We are going to be talking about how you hang these, do a little bit of talking about that. We'll do another video on hooking these up and listening to them. So if we take a look here, we can see that the speaker is a nice size speaker. It's got a really good back to it. And we're going to take off this cone here in a minute and show what's under it. But first, let's take a look at the manual real quick. I just wanted to point out how it's talking about the hanging mechanism. So you can see here that it's got an eye screw through the top of a beam, and we can see that it's talking about how you'll loop it through, and then it comes with all of the connectors that you need, and then you'll loop it through the little metal piece that we'll see here in a minute, which clamps it and holds it. And then there is a carabiner hook which will attach to the bottom or the top, and you'll see how I actually do it a little bit differently just because that's how I wanted to do it. You can do it on either side, but we'll show that here in a second. So underneath the cover here, you'll see the mounting point. So this is where you will either connect your carabiner or the other end of your loop, again, depending on which side you want to do it on, but that's your mounting point. You have your speaker selector here. This is going to select whether you're going to be using it in the 8 ohm standard mode, which is what most people would be using it at. But then you can also do a 70 volt and a 100 volt mode. So you can pick your 70 volt tap setting for how loud you want it to be if you're using 70 volt. And then you've got your inputs here. Again, it can handle daisy chaining for 70 volt if that's what you're using. Let's open up the hardware package. So inside it comes with everything that you need. Here's that little clip thing that I was kind of talking about. It squeezes the wire together to hold it together. We've got a waterproof cap here. It's rubber, so that's where the wire will come out of. That will help keep any water and moisture out. And the actual cable itself is very long. It's possible you would need a longer one. If you're using these in a commercial setting, it is possible you might need a longer one, but it's very long, and I would say for most, probably 90% of use cases, I really can't think that it would be needing to be much longer. So it does come with everything you need, and that's very nice. So connecting the carabiner to the bottom is what the instructions showed having. The way I ended up doing it was I did it a little bit different. So it was actually snowing the day that I was doing this, so I wanted to do all the connections inside and then just clip it up outside. So that's what I did. I don't really think it matters one way or the other, so just pick whichever way you think would be best for your application. So right here, what I'm doing is I'm kind of simulating how it would look if you were doing it the way the instructions showed. So if we pretend that top carabiner is your eyelet screw that maybe you screwed through drywall or into a stud on your ceiling or something like that, you would flip it around like that, and then the little clamp would smash the wires together and it would hold it up top there. Here's what it looks like with one of them done. So I've already got this one done and hung up. So we're gonna go through the next one together. So mine, I want them very close to the ceiling, and that's because this deck overhang where my hot tub is not very tall. But you would loop your cable through, you determine, that maybe this is the height that you want it. Take a mark with your fingers, your marker, and then that extra piece, that tail, is what you would end up cutting off. And then where my pinched fingers are, that is where you would end up doing the metal clamp thing that clamps the wire together. So I made the mistake on my first one by first cutting the wire to the length that I wanted, and what I found out was it actually made it very difficult because it was such a short piece of wire. It made it difficult to work with. So instead, what I recommend is don't cut it. First, you just want to go ahead and loop it through and then get your length, and you'll see that that's what I'm doing right here. I actually started to cut it, so that's why you can see that the cable was partially cut, and then I realized that it's better to do it without cutting it first, just because it's easier to feed the wire through. So I went ahead and on this other one, I fed the wire through first, so that's what I would recommend. Feed it through first, then cut off your excess. It would be a lot easier, and then get it all tightened down. So you'll see that's what I'm doing here. All right, so there you have it. That's what it looks like when it's all done, and I've trimmed off the excess here. So we're just gonna clip it up there with our carabiner, and it's obviously a little bit nicer of a day when I actually put this second one up. It was freezing the first day I put up the first one. So yeah, stay tuned for the next video. You can see it's got a really nice appearance. I really love the way these look, and I can't wait to get them hooked up and hear how they sound. So stay tuned for my next couple of videos that I've got coming up here in the pipeline. And I hope you guys enjoy it. Thanks for subscribing and liking, and we'll see you on the next one.